Hello and welcome to the Bob Box. Yeah, we're back with another Team 13 robot, this one being the team's second and most famous entry. It's also the longest running and the most successful, so we're going to be here for a little while. For those who are wondering where 13 Black fits in the timeline, this is the successor of Limpet, which you may remember as the robot that could have taken out Roadblock in the tutorials back in Series 2. It's also the distant predecessor of Heavy Metal, which you may remember as the only robot to send another robot into the pit of oblivion during Series 9. Now, to answer the unspoken question, yes, I would have liked this one to be the subject of episode 13, but that of course did not happen, as it was Scrapper's episode. So, here we are in episode 38, talking about 13 Black. Let's go! 13 Black had the appearance of an overturned canoe crossed with a DJ's record deck, as it was armed with two spinning horizontal discs, one black with the number 13 painted on, the other looking like a roulette wheel. The original 13 Black also had no ceramic. At its qualification for Series 5, 13 Black did not have its iconic paint job, wasn't even finished, and was 20 kilos overweight. Its design, however, impressed the right people. So it got an automatic place without having to fight anyone. It did manage to lose its weight and found home in Heat F, where it faced fellow newcomer Corkscrew, which looked like a corkscrew, was a full body spinner and wore a kilt. Corkscrew managed to start by hitting the ref bot, whilst 13 Black, now completed of course, only managed to hit Corkscrew on its second attempt. 13 Black also hit Shunt, ill-advised given Shunt's track records with spinners at that point. 13 Black hit the wall, then hit Shunt again before attacking Corkscrew one more time. After one attack, though, one of its discs stopped spinning. It then got caught on the tooth of Corkscrew's weapon, locking the two in unholy robot matrimony. Shunt tried to separate the two as time ran out. The judges went for Corkscrew, probably because of the dead disc. 13 Black also got compared to Hypno-Disc, but they were out. At this point, Hypno-Disc were already through. So, on Series 6, where 13 Black landed in Heat F again. It found itself in a four-way fight against Crushing Dragon Chomplot, a pre-Lipo fire, Thermidor 2, a flipper, and the 11th seeded Thwackbot and former grand finalist, Stinger. There was a lot of trash talk going on between Thermidor 2 and Stinger. A lot. Meanwhile, 13 Black was wrongly said to have holographic wrapping paper on it. Chomplot did, though, and it was 13 Black's first target. It then opened the pit, whilst having Stinger and Chomplot on its tail, but missed a golden opportunity to send the 11th seeds into oblivion when Stinger chilled out too close to the pit. It tried, though. 13 Black then became Chompalot's target as the dragon grabbed one of the discs. Then Thermidor 2 died. 13 Black then got free and wailed on Chompalot until it died. Meanwhile, Thermidor 2 came to life too late and pitted itself. Chomp got counted out, flew air floor flipper, and got pitted. Those of you who saw episode 3 all know what's next. Those of you who need a refresher course or didn't see episode 3 will need to be told it was double trouble next. A double horizontal spinner. Double trouble had also been poorly pre-fight, but it had just been repaired and it was okay to fight. 13 Black went on the aggressive early on, hitting double trouble repeatedly and removing one of double trouble's discs. So 13 Black span on the spot, something that would make any robot not named Double Trouble back off. Double Trouble did not back off. In fact, Double Trouble actually tried to ram 13 Black, but got a damaged side panel for its trouble. Soon after, one of 13 Black's discs died. The other disc was alive and well until it too died after a few hits on Double Trouble. However, it did so just before time ran out. However, as 13 Black removed one of Double Trouble's discs, the judges went for 13 Black. To a big yes. People, I think we have the winner of the Big Yes Award for Series 6. Next was Stinger again for a place in the series semi-finals. Stinger, being Stinger, was not an easy robot to attack at all, but 13 Black still got some hits in. Stinger hit a disc, but all that did was create a few sparks. 13 Black also went close to dead metal, but escaped. Then 13 Black hit Stinger so hard that a thing came off one of its wheels. It also released the Disc of Doom, which was a thing that did nothing. 13 Black kept attacking, only backing away for reasons of staying alive, and drove over the flame pit, before taking Stinger on a ride around the arena for the last few seconds of the fight, until Sir Kill picked Stinger up. Time ran out. The judges were called in. They picked 13 Black. Again. Next up was third seed, Firestorm 4, a front-hinged flipper. Seeing as 13 Black had no mech, you can see where there's a problem for them. They did visit Firestorm 4 in the pits, though, whilst Philippa was interviewing Team Firestorm. Talk about timing. Firestorm 4 took 2 tries to flip 13 Black over, so 13 Black used the discs to try and move, only to take itself into the ankle grinder on the side of the arena. In drove Firestorm 4, which got both bots apparently stuck, so RefBot nudged them all free. Then Firestorm 4 got 13 Black stuck on its side, where the gyro forces could not save it at all. So the RefBot counted 13 Black out, condemning it to the loser's melee, versus Flipper Dantonkia and Spinner Wild Thing. Wild Thing had recently been trashed, but Team 13 were worried about both of their opponents. Wild Thing had since been fixed. I will list the help given to Wild Thing in their episode, but alas, now is not the time. Let's just talk about the fight. Wild Thing was Dan Tomkia's first target, but it as in Danton here, did not shy away from trying to go after 13 Black and vice versa. However, driving into the walls did not help 13 Black's cause, and Danton Kia flipped the double spinner over. Wild Thing got flipped onto the arena wall, but it was freed. 13 Black, however, became Dead Metal's lunch, whilst Wild Thing drove into the descending pit. 13 Black crab walked away to try and stop the ref bot from counting them out again. Danton Kia wanted 13 Black out of the arena, but their attempts resulted in A, 13 Black getting righted, and B, Danton Kia getting stuck under an angle grinder. Real smart move there. Danton Kia got freed and flipped 13 Black over one last time before time ran out. Danton Kia won the judge's decision, and 13 Black went out. And stayed out. They did enough to be able to get into the All-Stars in Extreme 2, though. They had a message painted on the bottom of the robot now. Still no Remake. We're in Heat B, and do Razor and Chaos 2, a crusher and a flipper, which need no introduction really. And both legends and champions. This is the kind of draw that makes you want to ask the robotic combat gods for help, because the draw gods have already done their utter worst. And they also had a new member of the team, Tash Denny, and Team 13 were optimistic. But starting their weaponry up early was a bad idea, wasn't it? You start on activate, not 1. Being the non-champion in the fight, 13 Black was a robot magnet. First, Razor stopped one of the discs with its crusher, then Chaos 2 tried to flip them both. Once 13 Black was freed, Razor got flipped over. Razor then attacked 13 Black again, and by trying to flip both robots, Chaos 2 freed 13 Black. That allowed Chaos 2 to go after Razor, and 13 Black took out one of Razor's self-righting wings. Chaos 2, however, had armour damage and became Razor's target. 13 Black kept well out of that one. Chaos 2 then had stopped moving and got counted out. Cue the floor flipper, Mr. Psycho's hammer, and a one-way trip to the pit of Chaos 2. 13 Black, it turned out, had struck the killer blow on Chaos 2, but it had also been warned for jumping the gun with its spinners. Next up was Dominator 2, an axe bot which had just done a number on Hypno-Disc. Happily, Team 13 had not gone down the robo-chicken route of thinking they could survive anything because they'd survived a fight with Razor. They still weren't worried though. After all, they just retired Chaos 2. 13 Black did get a hit in, but got pinned to the wall by Dominator 2. The axe didn't get brought down though, and 13 Black was released and led the axe bot close to Matilda. 13 Black actually drove into the corner patrol zone and got away okay. Dominator 2 went into the CPZ2, but wasn't so lucky. It ended up on its side thanks to Matilda. 13 Black took advantage by hitting Dominator 2 until it was righted, and releasing the pit via trashing the pit release tyre. Then Dominator 2 axed one of 13 Black's discs, stopping it. So Dominator 2 dragged 13 Black around the arena in a desperate bid to pit the double spinner. But 13 Black was having none of it. It couldn't escape, but no way was 13 Black going down a hole in the arena floor. In fact, Dominator 2 nearly went down into the pit itself. Good going. When 13 Black hit the arena wall, it was released, but Dominator 2's axe was stuck in the down position. A wheel was also down. 13 Black also hit the pit release tyre again, removing the tyre itself from the wall and sending it rolling into the pit. In the dying seconds of the fight, both robots flirted with oblivion, but neither went in. So the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of 13 Black, so it had to fight Razor again. In the pre-fight interview, the message I mentioned earlier, "Still no remake," was seen. Though Razor got an attack in early, 13 Black elected to spin on the spot again, presumably in a bid to throw Razor off. It kept away from Razor, but when Razor got it close to it, managed to get a hit in. Then 13 Black got stuck on the arena wall, so Razor attacked, crushing a section near one of the wheels. Shunt then axed one of the discs, and that broke it. Razor eventually let go to open the pit before Razor got hold of 13 Black again and slowly put the double spinner in the pit. Razor was smoking at the end though. So that was it for the All-Stars and by extension Extreme 2. So let's get to Series 7. This time 13 Black found a home in Heat D, makes a change from Heat F, and ended up against Vertical Spinner the Alien, Flipper Herbinator, and another Flipper, Lightning, which you might remember from episode 5, saying they weren't religious before a fight against Thor. 13 Black proceeded 7th, but were only finished the night before it was filmed, or their improvements anyway. These improvements included a Shriemek! Lightning was the first robot to meet 13 Black, shoving Herbinator into the path of one of 13 Black's discs. 13 Black hit Herbinator again before Lightning disposed of it. Herbinator, that is. 13 Black then got taken for a ride by Lightning and attacked the alien before beginning to smoke a lot. The smoke didn't last long, but one of the discs was now out of commission. Lightning then opened the pit that 13 Black were very near and tried to shove the 7th seed in. But as we already know, 13 Black does not go into that pit willingly. So Lightning flipped them on their side. The alien had already died though, but it was a close run thing. So it, the alien, flew Airfloor Flipper and had an ocean boy land on it. So 13 Black was safe and got to fight Dutch Flipper and Arena Vandal Gravity. Gravity's team weren't scared. 13 Black, however, had a poorly self-writer which they needed to repair sharpish. Gravity flipped 13 Black over at once, which was the cue for some crab walking. Gravity sent them to the corner, which was the cue for Lot to come over and pick 13 Black up for a pirouette. Lot put 13 Black down, picked them up, and put them down again, right side up this time. So Gravity rammed straight into the kill lot and tried to flip them. Then they went over to 13 black and flipped them onto the arena wall, where the 7th seeds bounced the rest of the way out of the arena. And that was the end of 13 black. 13 black was a good robot and could have done better than making just the one semi-final. But that would have been if it had been in the possession of a fully working Suimec, which it never had. It struggled against the flippers, and there were a lot of them around. It was nominated for awards though, both in Series 5, Most Original Entry and the Sportsmanship Award, but lost both to S3 and Pussycat respectively. Will I get either of them next week? Or will it be something completely different? We'll see. It's a robot with a very long name. I bought one beta. Okay. Until next week, Callison244 out.